Hi, I'm Dana. Welcome to this week's video. You know, it's one of the experience every new parent has, that you just get this baby to fall asleep in your arms. You manage to ever so gently get them into the crib, slide your hands out just so, back away from the crib, and 20 minutes later, she's awake and she's crying. And you think, oh my gosh, you know, I did all that hard work to get her to sleep in the first place and she only took a 20-minute nap. I'm going to share with you some tips today on how to deal with what I call the curse of the short nap. The first thing you want to remember is that if you are doing all of the work, meaning you're rocking and feeding and bouncing and doing all of the stuff required to get your little one to fall asleep in your arms, then the chances of a nap lasting any kind of good quality length is very, very slim. And that is because all of us are aware of our surroundings while we sleep. We would have had to be, if you think about it from an evolutionary perspective, you have to at least have some awareness of what's going on around you. So a baby realizes or senses that they're not in the same location they were in when they fell asleep, and that's a fairly alarming realization, and they usually wake up pretty mad and crying right away. So the first step is to help your baby fall asleep in the same location you would like her to stay asleep in. And if that seems like an impossibility for you, then I want you to pick up a copy of the Sleep Sense program, because that's going to give you a step-by-step guide for teaching your baby how to fall asleep in the same place you'd like her to stay asleep, and help her develop her own skills around sleep, which is so important and really the crux of why babies aren't sleeping well. So that's step number one. The second thing you need to look at is timing. Some people are going too soon for the nap. Some people are waiting too long for the nap. The most common mistake I see is people waiting too long for a nap. And what happens then is the baby gets overtired. An overtired baby has a hard time falling asleep, and then the sleep that comes afterwards is very fragmented and light, and it usually leads to too short of a nap time. So you want to have, again, if you have the Sleep Sense program, there is a guide in the nap chapter that kind of outlines the different ages and the time period in which that child can tolerate before they need another nap. But for the sake of our example here today, let's say it's a 6-month-old. Well, most 6-month-olds can only handle about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of time awake before they're going to need sleep. So start there and kind of tinker with it. Maybe she needs a little less, maybe just a tiny bit more, until you get that sweet spot. And there really is a sweet spot. Another thing you want to think about is darkness and quiet. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't want her to get too used to it being quiet. But think about when you're taking a nap. Is it easy to take a nap if somebody's vacuuming, or if somebody's like loading the dishwasher, or if people are yelling in the house? I mean, you're not going to nap well if there's lots of environmental noise. So you want to keep that in mind, minimize the noise level as much as you can. If you live in a noisy neighborhood, or you've got a dog that barks every time the doorbell rings, put in white noise of some kind. My favorite is the Dome sound machine. It just gives out a nice, clean, white noise experience that just helps buffer some of that environmental noise that might be waking her. Darkness is also very important. We want to kind of keep the lights as low as we can, block out that sunlight that's coming in the window, and that's going to help encourage her to go through one cycle and into the next. And that should help improve the quality and the length of the nap. Thanks so much for watching today. Sleep well.